First is what you call the direct loan. This is AKA the Stafford loan, AKA used to be Sallie Mae loans, which most parents took out when they were going to college themselves. So the direct loan works like this. It's now directly through the government, and that's why they call it the direct loan. There's two different types of Stafford loans. There's a subsidized loan. This one is underneath the student's name only, interest-free while they're in school. 6 months after they graduate, they'll need to start making payments on it. Currently, the rate is at 3.4% fixed, but technically, it's supposed to be at 6.8% fixed. So you just never know what the actual fixed interest rate will be until the year that you take out that particular loan, okay? The one thing you've got to realize about this loan is that there are loan limits on this loan, and then on top of that, it's need-based. So you have to have a need in order to be able to qualify for this subsidized loan. Why? Because the government's saying we're paying the interest while you're in school, right? So the next thing that you want to understand are the limits. So the max that a student can take out their first year in a subsidized Stafford loan is $3,500 per year. The second year is $4,500, and the third and fourth year is $5,500. We went over the cost of attendance already. It's clearly not the total cost of attendance. In the past, the cost of attendance was lower, and therefore the loan limits were actually closer to what the cost of attendance would be, so therefore the parents could actually, or the parents in the past when they were students, could actually take out enough to pay for themselves to go to college. So then from there, you have your unsubsidized Stafford loans. So these loans are technically non-need based. If you do qualify for the need-based subsidized one, then you can qualify for $2,000 per year of an unsubsidized Stafford loan. What does this mean? It means that it's underneath the student's name only. They will start to charge the student 6.8% fixed from the first day that they disperse the loan to the university. None of the payments, though, are due until 6 months after they graduate, or they won't start until 6 months after they graduate. If they go to grad school, they'll just defer the loan payments. But just so you know, in the end, what they'll end up doing is they'll allow a student to consolidate those loans. And right now, interest rates are pretty low. So I guess it's their way of saying congratulations on graduating. But the point behind it is really, it's only about $25,000 to $30,000 that you could really take out in these subsidized loans. The new rule of thumb is don't take out more as an undergraduate in student loans than you would potentially make your first year out of college. So these are probably the better loans of all the loans that they offer. The next loan that they offer is a student loan called a Perkins loan. Now this is a need-based loan. The schools will actually tell you if you qualify for it or not. But what happens is it's interest-free. It's underneath this, while they're in school, and then what will happen is it's underneath the student's name. 9 months after they graduate, they'll need to start making payments on it, and at that point it would be 5% fixed. Institutional loans, these are loans that are offered by the university itself. Many of the private schools started giving out all these institutional loans because they realized that they couldn't qualify for as much through the government itself. So a school like University of San Diego might give $4,000 to a student, and they'll give it to them interest-free. I do beg you to check on the interest rates before you actually check the accept box, because some other universities might charge anywhere up to 8% for a student to take out that loan, but it is underneath their the student's name only. The next are your private loans. So many people in the past have been coming to me going, well, I heard that all these students are taking out like hundreds of thousands of dollars of loans. Like, what loans are they taking out? Well, first off, they're going to max out what they can qualify for from the federal government because they're probably subsidized, right? The next thing that they can do is they can go to a private lender. For an example, I would say like Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Sallie Mae. They offer what you call private loans. These loans are underneath the student's name. However, nowadays, they're going to require for a parent to co-sign on these loans. So you need to be really, really careful with these loans. In the past, when they were handing out mortgages like candy, they were also handing out student loans like candy to students, and they didn't require a parent co-signature. So what you want to think about is that if it's underneath the student's name, number one, and the parent will have for co-sign, well, A, it's going to sit on the parent's credit, and B, if the parents ever want to refinance their home in the future or anything like that, it's going to look like there's a larger debt-to-income ratio than you really want to have on there, and might not qualify for a loan in any case. So you just need to be really careful with those loans. The other thing about those loans is that they're technically right now, to get any sort of decent interest rate, which is anywhere between 3 to 6%, the interest rates are variable. So my concern with it all is that if they're variable, now you're in the situation where it might look really nice right now, but if you're going to pay it back over the course of 10, maybe even 20 years, the likelihood of the interest rates going up is pretty great. So you need to be really, really careful with that. So just be sure that you look into that ahead of time. To me, if you have to take out a private loan, I probably wouldn't even think about going to that university.